She was like, is there a brown house with white pillars? And the person was like, yeah, I think so. Like, I don't know, but they checked the next day or whatever, and there was. She said, what he wants you to do is take used underwear in a glass jar and bury it in the front yard of that house.
That is a riot!
Yeah, and if you're familiar with the area, that house is probably worth like $4 million.
So this person needs to sneak over there in the middle of the night with a shovel and
front yard,
right in the front yard,
right next to a Montessori school.
In the middle of the night, in a very affluent suburban neighborhood, and I'm imagining the headlines.
Yep.
Local business owner.
Yep. Needless to say, I spoke with her. She did not do that, and there has not been any activity recently.
That would have been great. What a great story that would have made. Like,
maybe.
Yeah. So we're really excited about this new feature that we're calling Drive-By Ghosting. So the way that it's going to work is we will get stories from various people, and because most people's ghost stories only run a minute or two, even Matt and Arthur's story only lasted 4 or 5 minutes. So if you have a story, we have a couple that we're going to play for you today, and if you have a story like this that you would like to share with us, we would love to hear your story and add it to Drive-By Ghosting. So the first one is going to be one that Amelia collected. So she's going to tell you a little bit about who she got it from, and we'll hear that story.
Okay, so this story comes from one of my coworkers / good friends, Laura. And Laura is from Dover, Massachusetts. And this is her local legend of Dover.
Dover is a very old, very spooky place.
Yes.
All right, tell me about what's it called? Dover Demon? Dover Demon. Okay, so in Dover, Massachusetts, there are 4 main roads. We've got Walpole Street, Center Street, Springdale Ave, and then Center Street. And along Springdale Ave is probably a half a mile of like a 2.5-foot all rock wall, and it's kind of like deteriorating, falling apart, big pieces of rock. And it was said to believe in 1977, April 23rd, which is today's date, that there was this creature seen, kind of like an alien-looking creature with long arms, long legs, kind of just creeping along the rock wall, just back and forth. Now this wall is like the beginning to this huge field which goes up to a fire tower, and it's said that kids partied up there and everything, and you know, as these kids would come down from partying, they would see this creature, and it'd be like this alien looking with like bug eyes, just like long, just creeping along. So yeah, that's the Dover Demon.
And has it been seen recently?
I don't know. I have to look up stories, but like anyone from Dover like knows about the Dover Demon.
And you said it was seen near the fire tower.
Near the fire tower.
True or false? Your father is the fire chief of Dover.
He is.
And has he seen it?
I'm sure he has, but I'm sure he's probably too embarrassed to admit it. He graduated in 1975, so he would have been 20 years old.
Yeah.
The first sighting. So about that time, growing up in Dover, partying.
Sweet.
Right?
We have
to investigate the Dover Demon. Trip to Dover. Seriously.
So there we go.
All right. First and foremost, we're not investigating because #we don't do demons.
That's what it says on our business cards.
If you'd like a business card, we'd be happy to get one for you too. So I've actually heard that story before. It was featured on Monsters and Mysteries in America, which was a series that was out a few years ago, and I would actually DVR it at night when it would be on, and because I couldn't watch it at night, it scared me too much. And then I would watch it during the day when it was light and bright out, and Sean was home and downstairs and didn't know I was upstairs scaring myself with ghost stories. But no, it's a scary idea that this one night these kids are coming out of the party that they're at, and it's like 3 different kids at 3 different times see this exact same demon figure.
Yes. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Okay, so what's next?
So I have one here from a friend of mine, Julia, and it's not actually her story. It's one that her parents told her.
My name is Julia, and my father told me that when him and my mother got their first apartment, he often felt like they were being watched. And sometimes at night, he would wake up and he would look up and see figures leaning over the bed watching him and my mother sleep. They never did anything physical, and my parents never felt unsafe. It was just really creepy.
That is creepy. That's very creepy.
Have you had one of those where you wake up in the middle of the night and somebody's looking at you?
No.
No? Well, Barry and I had talked about that in our first episode, and he thinks it's a neurological response to having woken up but not being ready to wake up yet. So I just think that it's interesting that both of Julie's parents had this same experience in that particular apartment. And as I went on and talked to her about it more, and it's not on the recording, but her mom had also seen these figures there in the apartment, and whatever the figures were just kind of curious about her parents, and her parents didn't stay in the apartment very long, and when they moved to their new house after that, the figures didn't follow them.
That's interesting.
They didn't have any other issues with it when they lived anywhere else.
Spooky. Very spooky.
Very spooky.
Okay, so this is from my dad's friend Kathleen. And this was taken inside an Irish pub in Hingham, Massachusetts, with my dad's band playing in the background. So I don't actually know if we're going to be able to hear this that well. We'll see if Beth's magical editing skills come out here.
Oh, so there's a house in Union City, New Jersey that we stay at for photo shoots. The photographer owns it. And one day we were there, and Chrissy, the stylist, in the morning said, "Did you know someone was in the house last night?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" But then her assistant was in another room, so we're all in different rooms. And Tiffany said, "Yeah, I thought there was someone standing over my bed, and I got up, and I thought I heard someone walking around all night." And I slept really heavily, so I didn't hear anything. But both Christy and Tiffany heard someone in the house. And then, so whatever, we go to the photo shoot, and the photographer lets people stay in that house whenever there's a shoot. And there's been a lot of sightings of the lady, is what we call her now. So every time we're in the house, we greet the lady when we come in. We're like, "Hey, we're back again." And I don't think she's unhappy that we're there. Good story.
Did you hear those smooth melodic notes from DW Rockabilly Band in the background?
Oh, I absolutely did. Gosh,
they're good.
They are.
You know what? If you work in a bar or somewhere, you should book them for a show.
You should. They definitely bring a very mellow vibe. I've never been anywhere to see them play that everybody didn't love them.
Very true.
And I think that they have openings in their schedule.
Okay. They sure do. Okay. But actually, I'm going to see him tomorrow night, which I would plug, but this episode comes out next week. So we got some awesome new reviews this week, Beth.
We did.
We did. We got some on iTunes and we got some on Facebook. So thank you guys so much. As always, please, please, please continue to give us 5-star reviews. Please, please, please tell your friends about our podcast. And as always, if you don't think we deserve 5-star reviews, please send us a private message and let us know what we can do to change your mind.
Yeah, don't leave us a 1-star review or even a 3-star review because that's just like we're not trying.
Yeah, and it's rude. And also, like, when you go into a restaurant, don't try to go into the kitchen.
People do that?
All the time. All the time.
That's bizarre.
It's very bizarre. All the time.
What are they looking for?
Attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one time. Oh, funny story. One time I worked at IHOP. I was 18 years old. I was in college full time, and I had this job at IHOP, and it was my first waitressing job. And I worked 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. 4 nights a week. And one night,
Everything about that story sounds terrible so far.
it was terrible. It built a lot of character, though, and I think more people should have to do the graveyard shift because I think the world would be a much nicer place. So I was there one night, and the line was really long because it's like the only place in Harvard Square open when the bars get out. And a guy felt his waffles took too long to come out, and he came into the kitchen and tried to punch me in the face. And the cook had to take him off of me. I swear to God.
As
Swear
the
to God.
waitress?
Swear to God. As an 18-year-old waitress. Yes.
He was ready to resort to violence over
Scout's
waffles?
honor. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. What is the world coming to?
Well, this was unfortunately like 11 years ago. But
What was the world coming
I
to?
know. Okay, so here we go on reviews. So we have one brand new one on iTunes from all in capitals, Megadeth. And what they have to say is, coming from someone who has countless paranormal encounters, this podcast hits the nail on the head. Very, very good.
Well, thank you, the Megadeth. We're glad that you're enjoying it because we're having so much fun doing this.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so now on to our Facebook reviews. Ooh. So we have one from Raymond. A couple of cousins with genuine interest in ghosts and ghost hunting. Fun and often insightful. Well, thank you so much, Raymond. That was really sweet of you.
I knew we were fun. I'm really glad to hear we're also insightful.
Often insightful. Nice. I like that.
Woo-hoo.
Next on our list comes from someone named Will, who says, Down to Earth Paranormal Podcast by two girls who don't take themselves too seriously. It's a refreshing take on the all too common paranormal podcasts of today. Thanks.
Oh.
We don't take ourselves too seriously. There
Thanks,
you go.
Will.
Thanks, Will. Next is from Rhonda. She has to say, interviews that inform us.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Thanks, Rhonda. That's really nice.
We're glad you find us informative.
Yes, that's one of the things we want. Get the information to the people.
Absolutely. I think that was about it for this week.
Oh, we have to, I have one thing I need to plug. And that is that I was a guest co-host on the Unbelievers podcast this week. So I really want to say thank you so much to Russ, Andrea, and Rob. It was so cool. It was so much fun. I was so nervous. I had an absolute... ghost got your tongue, Amelia? I was not my normal charming self. I got so scared. Because, you hear these people, and they're so cool, and they're so nice. And honestly, they are. They're, like, the coolest people in the world. Just so, like, down to earth. So cool. And, like, we're talking through Skype, and it's like, I feel like I'm, like, listening to the episode, but I'm not. I don't know how to
You're
describe it.
supposed to be interacting within the episode.
I am supposed to be interacting in the episode, but, like, they're so cool, and, like, I'm really not that cool, and I'm really not that funny, and, like, it was a lot of fun, though, and the episode's actually really good. It's really good. Luckily, I didn't talk that much, so they kept talking, and it's so cool. They're so awesome. It was on this Canadian broadcast channel show called Beyond Reason. And that's all I'm going to say, but it's awesome. We want a reboot of Beyond Reason. So thank you so much to the Unbelievers. Please go check them out at Unbelievers Podcast or on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and everywhere under the sun. They also were so cool. They gave us this graphic made by Raymond Rowell, which is so awesome and so pretty. And I just I'm going to make it the background of my phone. I love it. So thank you guys so much for that. And what else do we got, Beth?
Are we ready to sign off and thank all of our people?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much to Laura, Kathleen, and Julia for giving us your recordings. We'd also like to give a huge thank you to Matt/Walter and Arthur for doing that interview with me last night, providing us with some cool EVPs. Thank you to Boston Paranormal Investigators for capturing the EVPs from the store in Wellesley, Massachusetts.
We also want to send a big thank you to Aaron Schilb for doing the music that we are really excited brings you into our podcast now. A big thank you to Amelia because she edited our voiceover over the music, and it sounds terrific.
And a big thank you to Beth because she edits all the episodes and does a really good job, and I would have no idea how to do it.
We also need to make sure that everybody knows that we were